Oh no! What are you doing out here? The question slipped from my lips before I even realized I'd stopped pedaling. One moment, I was gliding down a quiet country road, wind threading through my hair like an old friend. The world reduced to the rhythm of spinning wheels and distant birdsong. The next, my brakes squeaked, my feet touched gravel, and time itself seemed to pause. Because there she was, a tiny gray kitten, no bigger than my two hands cupped together, sitting alone on the dusty shoulder of the road. Her fur was matted with dust, one ear slightly bent, and her eyes, wide, trembling, impossibly green, locked onto mine with a mixture of fear and something else, something like hope. She let out the softest, most fragile sound I'd ever heard, a meow so quiet it was almost swallowed by the breeze. But I heard it, and in that instant, everything shifted. I had a route, a plan, a schedule to keep. Deadlines, appointments, miles to log before sunset. But none of that mattered now. How could I leave her? How could anyone? I stepped off my bike, careful not to startle her. Knees sinking into the gravel, I crouched low and extended a hand, palm open, voice barely above a whisper. "Hey there, little one. Where'd you come from?" She didn't run, didn't flinch, just blinked slowly, as if weighing my soul in her gaze. Then she mewed again, soft, pleading, heartbreakingly vulnerable. "Please don't go." I looked around. Empty fields stretched in every direction. No houses, no fences, no signs of life, except the wind rustling through dry grass and the distant hum of a tractor. It was clear she'd been abandoned, left behind like unwanted luggage on the side of someone else's journey. My bike wasn't built for passengers. It was a lean touring machine, lightweight, efficient, designed for one. But as I stared into those trembling eyes, I knew efficiency didn't matter anymore. Compassion did. I unzipped the small front handlebar bag, usually reserved for snacks, maps, and my phone, and gently scooped her up. She was lighter than I expected, all bones and heartbeat. For a second, she stiffened. Then, as if recognizing kindness, she melted into my hands. And then, magic. Without hesitation, she wriggled upward, climbed my arm like a tiny mountaineer, and perched herself squarely on my shoulder. She nestled her chin against my neck, wrapped her tail loosely around my collar, and let out a sigh, so deep it seemed to say, "Finally, you're mine." I laughed, tears stinging my eyes. Okay, you win. From that day on, we were inseparable. Her name came to me that night by the campfire, Nala. It meant a gift in an old African tongue, and that's exactly what she was. A gift I hadn't known I needed. Continúa con 9,900 palabras de narrativa expandida. Los primeros días de adaptación. La decisión de microchip y pasaporte felino. Viajes por montañas y ciudades. La enfermedad en la clínica veterinaria. La tormenta en los Alpes. La calma en pueblos mediterráneos. La conexión silenciosa. La lección de que el viaje no es sobre distancia sino presencia. Y el regreso a casa donde home se redefine como estar juntos. When we finally turned onto the familiar dirt road that led to my little cabin in the woods, Nala stirred on my shoulder. She lifted her head, ears swiveling, nostrils flaring. She didn't meow. She didn't need to. She already knew. We rolled to a stop in the yard, wildflowers blooming where I'd once let weeds take over. The porch swing creaking in the breeze, the scent of pine and earth thick in the air. I lifted her down gently. She touched the ground, paused, then began to explore, nosing the base of the oak tree, circling the patch of lavender, rubbing her cheek against the bike rack like it was sacred ground. Then she walked back to me, sat at my feet, and looked up with those same green eyes that had first stopped my heart on a lonely road years ago. And in that moment, I understood. Home was never a place. Home was her. Home was us, together. Nala taught me that adventure isn't measured in miles, but in moments of connection. That courage isn't the absence of fear, but the choice to stay when running would be easier. That love doesn't need words. It only needs presence. And sometimes, the smallest souls carry the loudest hearts. So if you ever see a tiny creature alone on the side of the road, don't look away. Stop, listen, and be ready to have your life changed forever. Because sometimes, the greatest journeys begin with a single meow and a heart willing to answer.